Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, Military Video Tech. The new mission of 48 China fishing vessels and Navy besieging the Philippine Navy in the South China Sea. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, sighted 48 Chinese fishing vessels around the Philippines Economic Exclusion Zone in the South China Sea on June 30. A Philippine Navy, PN, Britain-Norman Islander patrol aircraft spotted a large number of Chinese fishing vessels over the Iroquois Reef during patrols. The AFP Western Command said on Friday there were 48 Chinese fishing vessels around the reef as of the latest air patrol on June 30. The swarming of Chinese fishing vessels there is quite visible from the air, Lieutenant Edgard Abogado, pilot in command of the PN aircraft, wrote in the Post. Co-pilot Lieutenant Carla Andres wrote on the Post that the vessels did not appear to be vessels, just loitering in groups of 5 to 7. The recent observations by the PN aircraft confirm earlier intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance by SR flights conducted in the area, which indicated an increasing trend of Chinese fishing vessels. AFP Western Command said the command recorded 12 fishing vessels in February 2023, which increased to 47 as of June 12. The AFP Western Command also reported an increased presence of Chinese maritime assets at Sabina Shoal. 3 China Coast Guard, CCG, ships and 2 People's Liberation Army Navy, PLN, vessels are regularly loitering there, compared to 2 wooden resupply boats from the Philippines and 2 Philippine Coast Guard, PCG vessels, the command said. Westcom included aerial photos taken by the flight, along with photos of the Chinese fishing vessels. China Coast Guard Zhuoyu-class patrol cutter CG-3304 and Plan Type 056 Jiangdao-class corvette carrying hull number 629. The hull number identifies the Pilan corvette as CNS Tonglan 629. In response to the concerning presence of Chinese vessels swarming in the said areas, detailed reports will be forwarded to higher authorities as a crucial step that aims to facilitate the potential filing of a diplomatic protest, reinforcing our commitment to safeguarding Philippine sovereignty and territorial rights in the West Philippine Sea, according to the Post. Iroquois Reef is part of the larger Reed Bank, known to the Philippines as Recto Bank, underwater volcanic mountain, which lies northeast of the disputed Spratly Islands. The Permanent Court of Arbitration, PCA, ruled in 2016 that Reed Bank is within the Philippine EEZ and the Philippines had economic rights for the area, although China refuses to recognize the ruling and claims the area as within its territory. The area is said to be rich in hydrocarbon resources, but the Philippines has yet to commence any major extraction efforts due to the Chinese claim on the area. The presence of Plan and China Coast Guard vessels at Sabina Shoal, known internationally as Escoda Shoal, which is part of the Spratly Islands, is due to China's ongoing presence and blockade operation against the nearby Philippines military outpost at 2nd Thomas Shoal. The Philippines has a dozen Marines on the grounded landing ship tank BRP Sierra Madre, Los 57, at the military outpost. The World War I LST had been run aground deliberately in 1999 to serve as an outpost and stake, the Philippines claimed to the area. Since 2014, Chinese Coast Guard vessels have interfered with resupply missions to the outpost, including on June 30. In a Wednesday tweet, Commodore J. Terila, the PCG's spokesperson, said the PCG patrol vessels BRP Malabrigo, MRV 4402, and BRP Malapascua, MRV 4403, conducted operations June 30 in support of Westcom, specifically escorting boats used by Westcom. The PCG expressed concern on the behavior of the Chinese Coast Guard vessels because the China Coast Guard was exerting additional efforts to prevent the PCG from reaching Second Thomas Shoal, Terrilla said. During the operation, the PCG was constantly followed, harassed and obstructed by the significantly larger Chinese Coast Guard ships at a distance of approximately 100 yards, he said. The Chinese Coast Guard ships blatantly disregard the Convention on the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, COREGs, in their attempts to obstruct passage and discourage the PCG vessels from approaching Second Thomas Shoal, he added. Terrilla did not disclose the identity of the China Coast Guard ships in his post, but included photos of a China Coast Guard ship with the hull number 4203 in close proximity to Malabrigo. Terrilla also said that PCG was concerned on the presence of 2 planned ships near Second Thomas Shoal. Despite the PCG operation being humanitarian in nature, China deployed warships in response. In a following post Wednesday, Terrilla posted pictures of the planned ships, saying that carried the hull numbers 620 and 629 and were 9 nautical miles away from Malapascua. The hull numbers identified the planned ships as Type 056 Jiangdao class corvettes, CNS Ganzhou 620 and Tonglan. U.S. officials condemned the Chinese action in a readout of Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin's Thursday call with Philippine Secretary of National Defense Gilberto Teodoro Jr. Secretary Austin noted with concern the PRC's recent coercive and risky operational behavior directed against Philippine vessels operating safely and lawfully in the South China Sea, including around Second Thomas Shoal, according to the readout.